In today's video, we're gonna be going through the top 5 strongest power in Call of Dragons at the moment as of the time recording of this video. So stick around in this video because we're gonna be visiting the top 5 strongest power players in the game. What is up guys, MEOWER here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So in today's video we're gonna be reviewing the top 5 strongest accounts at the moment in Call of Dragons, but before we get started I want to start off this video with an honorable mention before we enter the top 5 list of my a good acquaintance from the SS1-3 server, aka XX Immortal XX. He is the first player in Call of Dragons history to reach 100 million plus power legitimately from the beta server. As you can see, 111 million power, an amazing powerhouse, and he's not even in the top 5. Just goes to show how vastly matured Call of Dragons has gotten and is still in its early stages of its infancy. So as we can see, based off his stats, he's got 111 million power. He's got 126 million units killed. So overall, fantastic ratio and super low units dead, which is even better. Which I assume he's never been zeroed before, because how can you zero such a big whale when your server doesn't really have that much competition? And then we have his units healed in 31 million point 244, and then the general resources info. That's how you know that he's a whale. He's only gathered 11 million resources, but he has given over 2.8 billion resources. Wow, I would love to have a teammate like that. Overall, super friendly guy. I've had the pleasure of being an acquaintance to his group. A shout out to Crazy and shout out to Goat. But we still have to start our list. So we're gonna be visiting our good friends in S32, aka the anomaly server of Call of Dragons at the moment. All eyes are on this server at the moment because it has the two biggest families at the moment in the non-beta servers, which are the Dragon family, DF, and BDO, some of my close friends. So starting off at number 5 in our list, guy with a Chinese name. I can't really pronounce it that well, so I don't butcher his spelling. But overall, he's had 120 million power. He has 45 million troops killed, which is pretty nice considering the server hasn't even opened its zone 3 yet. He hasn't really been zeroed at all, or suffered any troop deaths, and he's at 8.5 million troops healed. Overall, decent ratios, really good, really good. But this whale actually gathers resources. He's at 500 and almost 510 million gathered resources. He's given some nice assistance, nice resource assistance, and helps given. Overall, really solid account. But let's go to number 4 on the list, King C. King C is one of the more popular players, especially in the Chinese community, because he is considered a boss there. He's from Rise of Kingdoms. His account there is also completely stacked, and I believe, he plays on the Chinese server of Rise of Kingdoms. But right now, but this is a Call of Dragons video, so we're going to focus on Call of Dragons. He's at 131 million power, an absolute beast. I've seen him in the SLE rankings. He's always ranking in the top there. Overall victory is super nice, insane amount kill ratio, and really low to units dead comparison to kill units killed. And then his units healed are 12 million, so that's how you know that he is a fighter, and a really big fighter, because he kills a lot and he heals even more. All things considering this is a very young server, its zone 3 hasn't opened yet either. Super high resources gathered, but no resource assistance given at all. Interesting. And of course, Alliance helps given, so that's how you know that he's active. Next up, at number 3, we have Dumb Crab, because that is her Chinese name, what her Chinese name translates to. Of course, I'm not going to call her dumb at all, but that is what her Chinese name translates to. She's at 135 million power. Pretty amazing, pretty big overall. Just wow. These players are absolutely massive, all things considered, and they're not even, and she's not even in the top two. She is in the top three though, but definitely massive. And then we got her unit skill, 58 million, pretty amazing, and her units healed, so she's definitely a big fighter. All things considered, she gathers resources at a decent pace, nothing too major, but she did help out with a resource given, and then she's at 24,000 alliance help given. Overall, really solid, really solid. And then at number two, the leader of the DS family or the DF family or one of the leaders, the Wind, that is what his Chinese name translates to. As you can see, these are his rock accounts from the Chinese server in Rock. Two super stacked accounts at 634 million power. Pretty insane with insane kill points. Really solid overall. We'll see here his kills and his units lost and all that. Look at all these troops that are hospitalized in the KVK. Pretty pretty insane overall. We're gonna look at his units killed 55 million, pretty decent in comparison to how much units he's lost, which is a really super good ratio with a ton of healing as well. He has gathered some decent amount of resources at only 500 million, but gathering 500 million being 150 million power just goes to show how big of a whale this guy really is. And he's actually helped out with a decent amount of resources at 2 billion. He probably maxes out his resource help assistance every week or so. Pretty nice, super nice. And then his alliance help given at 23,000, so he's not really that active when it comes to providing helps, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And then finally, at our number one, we're going to be visiting S33. I will give you a few seconds to guess who this number one player is. He's an extremely popular player from Rise of Kingdoms. You have five, four, three, two, one, and clocking in at the current number one strongest Rise of Call of Dragons player, the Nephisto, at a staggering 153 million power. That is insane. Absolutely insane, with a kill ratio of 84 million units so far. Wow. Just wow. And he has 268,000 units dead, so he's probably been rallying a lot, and then his heals are pretty okay considering how many units he's killed. So just amazing. He's gathered a decent amount of resources and provided a decent amount of resource assistance given, and the alliance help given overall is could be better. But again, when you have an account at this scale, I mean, look at this. He has his Ferrari here. Take a picture with his Ferrari, a little bit of flexing. We got a picture here of his shoe collection. I don't know how much these are worth, but they're probably worth a lot. Here, he's rank one in this game. I'm not sure what this game is. Here, this is his Rise of Kingdoms power, 1 billion. Pretty insane. We got a bottle of champagne. Again, I don't know how much that is worth, but I assume it's worth a lot. We have a picture of this painting. Again, no clue what it's worth. Probably a lot. And then we have him here, maybe zeroing Rengar from the BXL. But again, pretty insane stuff overall. And the fact that this game's global release was less than 2 months ago, and we've got players of this caliber already, goes to show what the future will hold for us in Call of Dragons in terms of how big players will truly get. But that is it for the rankings in this video. If you like content like this, please do drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe and join our Discord. I will leave the link to it in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.